All right, some things you can control, right? The car you buy, the clothes you wear. You can even go to the gym, put on some muscles. You can change your body. You can change your diet. You can do a lot of things. But one of the biggest things that we have in our life that dictates a lot of what we do is our penis, right? Penis. I'm just going to get it right out of the way. And one of the things that we don't do with our penis, and I'm sure most of you guys work it out quite frequently, but it doesn't get any bigger. How do you go buy a penis pump? The answer is you go to Bathmate and you check it out. I don't care how big you are, it'd be cool to be bigger. This is a medical device. It's not a sex toy. You're not going to Romantic Depot and scooping one of these things up. You're getting it. It is medically certified and it's going to do the job. Now, they've got a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not sure if you want a bigger penis or not, which you do, probably, right? Like everybody's got that, like, hey, you know, like I'm not bottoming out yet. Let's see how deep we can go. You try this out. And I'm not saying you're going from your 2.5 inches to 14 inches. I don't know if that's possible, but you're going to be the best version of yourself because I told you to try it. You can be like, look, this guy on the internet told me to try it, so I just ordered it. You know, they give me a satisfaction guarantee. If I don't like it, I send it back. And don't worry about it. They don't, if you send it back, they throw it away. They don't wash it and send it to somebody else. So if you want to give them a shot, check out Bathmate. It's going to make your life much better because you're going to have more confidence. Having a bigger Johnson gives you more confidence. You get that big dick energy, and that's going to make you feel good. And then you could strut around like this guy. All right, everybody. Rob Ferretti here, and I am here on September 14th. Yes, it's the 14th, and I'm here at Bridgewater Chevrolet getting back my Z06. Now, it's been here for some time. 7/5 is when the RO was open, so it was July 5th. It's a long time. That's over 2 months that the car was here, receiving its new engine. I'm finally picking it up, and that's not even showing the problem because this problem goes all the way back to May. But as you can hear behind me, it's running. It's got an entirely new long block. The long block is not just the bottom end, not the top end, it's the entire engine assembly replaced. So this is a brand new engine at 2,600 miles, and it does present some issues because now I'm gonna have to put another 500 miles of brake-in on the new engine so it operates properly. Not like that did anything on the last engine, but I wanna do everything by the book so that if something does go wrong, I'm not jeopardizing my warranty. Now, right now you're looking at a car that's about to have 1,000 miles. So of the first 3,300 miles, 1,000 of them are going to be break-in miles. So like over a third or just about a third of my use on this car, because I got this in the beginning of January, a third of my use and more than 2/3 of the use has been unusable or break-in. So we'll get in the car, walk around it first, but then we'll get in the car and we'll talk about how I try to rectify that and deal with Chevrolet in the right way versus the wrong way. As you can hear though, the car does sound good. It does, obviously, they're giving it back to me, which means they've already tested it, they've cycled it, they've started it up, they've pretty much cleaned it. There's a couple of bugs on here, but that's such is life. I'm sure I gave it to them much dirtier than this. But the car's idling and moving. So it turns out all those transmission codes that we thought were an issue don't appear to be an issue. I am praying I don't have a transmission issue on this as well. If I have an engine issue and a transmission issue, I'm gonna pretty much lose it on this car. Does this car qualify as a lemon law? Yes. How I'm gonna proceed with GM on that front, we'll talk about. But let's hit the road. I'm gonna go pick up my other Corvette, let Brandon drive this one back to the shop. Can't race him yet because like obviously I'm pretty confident my C5's faster than this, especially in a straight line. And probably around the track too. Well, let's get in the car, let's go for a drive and see if this thing does step one, which is make it back to my shop, which is about 45 minutes to an hour away. Here we go. All right, we're at 2,830 miles now. Oil temperature is good, it's at 170 degrees. So we are capable of doing what we would like with the car without doing any real cold oil damage. Now I do want to point out that when the car arrives to you, your initial cycle to break it in doesn't allow you, it artificially restricts the red line. I've already eclipsed that point in the computer, so it's no longer going to be doing that to me. So this is just me using my better judgment and breaking it in properly. It's not like the computer's going to restrict me. Give me 1 second. Let me enter my address here, which is Felix Medina Racing. We're going to do a pit stop and pick up my other Corvette on the way back. I love nothing better. And I guess for this car, it's good to drive in the traffic. It allows it to go through the motion, so to speak, and vary the RPM, slow down, speed up. Better than just a constant RPM. But I'm sure they probably put 30 miles on the car too, so there is some initial use on the engine. All right, so initial response, the car works, right? But it worked previously, so we'll see what happens. What I want to do is reach out, and how am I going to deal with Chevrolet on this one? I am not going to just go file a lemon law claim, because lemon law claim, you can do two things. You can either get your car replaced, or you can get your car repurchased, and then you can sort of walk away. I don't want the car repurchased because obviously even if I turn around and sell it now, I could get more than I paid for it. But also, if I get another car that's preferred, because obviously I've lost use of this car all year. I've been making payments on the car. Like, there's 100 reasons why I've had a crappy ownership experience thus far. I think I'm most likely able to get Chevrolet to agree to give me another allocation. They will build me another car, they'll fast track it, I'll get it in a month, and then they'll take this car back, certify it, put it back in their system, and put it back up for sale. It's probably going to be a win-win for both of us. We'll see what happens. I don't want to be that loud guy on the internet screaming and yelling. This is me documenting this. This isn't me really complaining, because so far they haven't done the wrong thing, right? Like, they haven't done anything incorrectly or haven't done what you would expect somebody to do in their situation. Do cars go bad? Yes. That's why there's a warranty. That's why the warranty period exists. But you can't really be mad if you just happen to get a car that has issues. Because, like, when it worked, it was fine, but whatever the build on the engine was the problem. I did find it interesting that the dealer was not allowed to disassemble, because I was like, is the engine in the part? Can I see it? They're not allowed to disassemble, drain the oil, do anything, because Chevrolet obviously takes the failure seriously, and they want to disassemble and they want to do the initial teardown. So the dealership can't screw anything up, and they're not taking anyone's word on it. They want to find out what went wrong so they can prevent it from happening again. So that's good. The post-mortem, it's better to be done by the guy who also built it than it is somebody else. And then they're like, here's a bag of oil. We think it's from your car. You don't have any of those issues. So I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to try to reach out to Chevy directly. I'm not just going to go get a lawyer and file a lemon law claim. I am going to try to resolve it with them, and I assume we'll be looking at a new car. Not that it does really much for me. It's going to effectively get me, whatever, 2,000 free miles of use on a Corvette. But that would be the ideal situation in my mind, is to get me a new 2024 Z06, similar spec, same spec, doesn't matter. And I will be made whole at that point in time. So we will see what happens. Rob Ferretti, I will see you at the shop, because I'm not going to record my whole drive here, and it's going to be a break-in anyway, so it's not like I can really do anything to it. But I will see you at my shop and report that it has made it the hour back, and that we are at least a little bit closer to getting the break-in period done and getting this thing at least usable as it was designed to be used. See you in a second. Hopefully not from the side of the road. All right, so as I said, we made it back, and that was not entirely a huge concern. Usually the dealer road tests it anyway. So the only thing I sort of noticed that I don't recall is there's like an engine tick, like more of a valve train noise, but it's probably normal. I'm just not used to such quiet cars, especially since we took this and picked up my other Corvette. This was down at Felix Medina Racing, so I let Brandon drive the Z06 back. I drove this back, and I was getting a lot of noise from the front because I've destroyed this splitter so much. Look at this. It grinds on the highway because it flexes so much from the wind, so anything over like 60 miles an hour, it just filing that thing down. So I gotta go to Advanced Composite Products, get a whole new front section for this. So they Zeus clip this. I'm just gonna get the entire front clip and Zeus clip it up top. so the whole thing comes off in one piece. It's gonna be my solution to that. But reassembling my fleet of cars here. Ferrari, NSX, Corvette, Supra, the Supras out in Long Island. Gonna get that back from Moe's. But we're working on it. And the main thing is that we got the Corvette back. And just an update, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's an entirely different day. Like, I didn't shoot a video of the car when I got back, but it's a couple days later. So we've got the break-in miles on this car, and we've reached out to Chevrolet. Chevrolet came back saying they're willing not to give us a car, but they're willing to give us 2 months payments. So I think the game plan is to just take what they give me and figure out what I'm gonna do with this car. I don't know if I'm gonna, I mean, I've got another car I'm gonna order for myself, the Z07 car. This one, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll sell this one, get another one. I just don't want to have, if this thing is plagued with problems, if there is an underlying transmission problem, etc., I don't want to deal with it. Something that somebody else, they've got now, they're extending my warranty on this car because of the new engine. And then they're giving me 2 months payments, but that's like I feel like I read on forums and everything, people are getting like 15 grand in GM credit. And I'm like, oh, give me GM credit. I'll buy another car. Like, you giving me GM dollars allows me to like keep the money in house. It's probably a win-win for everybody, but 2 payments doesn't really get me very far, especially because the car's been down for 6 or 7 months effectively. I lost the entire summer from May to October on this car, but we'll see what we end up doing with it. Stay tuned. Rob Ferretti, there is your update. We have a broken in, now re-available Z06 out of our New Jersey location. So if you want it, give us a shout. Catch you next time.